Hi, I'm Joe. This is a review of the Elehear Alpha Pro hearing aids. I've had them for about 2 weeks and have tried them in various different environments, and so I'm going to give you my perspective as a hearing aid user with moderate hearing loss, how they work for me, and also include several of the features that are involved in them. The hearing aids are very comfortable. They are over the ear and also in the ear speaker. So they're not your typical behind the ear hearing aid. I'm wearing them now, and I'm going to kind of turn so you can see them. They don't really show very much, but I'm going to turn completely away so you can see them from the back. They're pretty small. They're not terribly noticeable, and they have what I would consider a very high level of high frequency pickup. One of the things that enhance the comfort of the hearing aids is the fact that they have 6 different both sizes and shapes of earbud, detachable earbuds that you can use in order to fit them to your comfort level. They come extremely small to quite large, so I'm sure anybody can find one that fits in their ear very comfortably. I've found that the smallest for me produces some feedback, and that's just to be expected, because what happens is the sound they're producing goes back to the microphone and gets picked up, and that creates a whistling or howling sound. That's totally normal, and you just want to make sure that you pick the right size so that stops. As far as feedback is concerned, these hearing aids have extremely low feedback. Quite literally, I have to try very, very hard with the second smallest earbud piece to make any feedback occur. So they're very good as far as that goes. They have a noise reduction feature that they say is AI enhanced, and it does a very good job at reducing noise. An example, I was at a restaurant and we were sitting outdoors, and there are fans, and as you know, a fan makes noise and it kind of creates a rumbly hum sound. And I had the noise reduction down pretty low, and so I grabbed the app and just moved. There's a little slider, which I'll show in later at the end of this video. There's a little slider, and as you slide it up, and it got to the point that it completely eliminated the sound of the fan. It was as if the fan wasn't there. So the noise reduction is very good. It does reduce the volume of voices a little bit, but as I said, the AI feature that they have in the system does distinguish between noise and voices. It does a pretty good job at that. As I said, the gain of high frequencies is very, very good. I have a particular hearing loss in the higher frequencies, and with these hearing aids I can actually hear those. Other hearing aids I've used, I do not hear the highest frequencies, but with these I am able to hear those. Riding my bike, the wind noise is very low. It's actually no different than wind noise without hearing aids in your ears. So a little discussion about the overall sound of reproduction of these. I've only used them for about 2 weeks. Again, it takes, in my experience, it takes more than 2 weeks to get used to any new hearing aid. I would say probably about a month. So I'm not fully used to them yet. They have very high gain, so therefore I notice lots and lots of noises and sounds, and not noises that the noise reduction will get rid of, but rather, for example, you take foil and you tear the foil. It makes a very strong sound with these hearing aids. And that will be something that you notice when you're using them at first. Just things like you turn a light switch on. It's just extraordinary, the difference from what you have when you're not using hearing aids, and it's something you just need to get used to. You start hearing stuff you never heard before, and these have a particularly high gain. Voice and TV reproduction is fairly good. I would say was not as happy with voice reproduction as I might have been. It also depends on which earbud you use. You can actually get different and a little bit more depth if you use the bigger earbuds. So again, with time and with trying the different earbuds, you'll get different results. This has Bluetooth connectivity, which allows you to connect it to your phone to use the terrific app. It has the app allows you to do absolutely anything you can imagine. You can do the same things with the hearing aids. Without that, you can turn them on and off. You can adjust between the sound profiles, but it's so easy on the app. You'll want to have the app and just use that. For example, in the restaurant, we ended up with some other guests that were sitting to my left, and they were very, very loud. And so what I did was I grabbed the app and I actually turned the volume of the left hearing aid down and turned the right one up because my wife was sitting to my right. So we could have our conversation and I could hear her and yet not be so bothered by the people to my left. So you can connect it to the phone. You can hear the phone. You can answer the phone and use the hearing aids as your headphones. And they also act as a microphone. It can also connect to your computer. It can't do both at the same time. You have to disconnect the phone and then connect the computer. The sound reproduction through both of those is a little bit light. It's quieter than the hearing aids are, so the sound levels are not the same. So that's one thing that I did notice. When using the app, I'm going to go into much more detail. You can adjust the volume. You can adjust the different sound profiles. There are 4 sound profiles, and also configure it so it has less treble, more bass, and then there's this other one that talks about sounds that you want to kind of enhance, and it really does enhance those things like voices. So you can adjust those. You can minimize them, you can maximize them, and everything in between. And I will get into that when I show you the screens. And then finally, in conclusion, as far as hearing aids, their retail price is about $1,000. When this is released, I believe they'll still be on sale in the initial offering, perhaps not. But as far as $1,000 hearing aids, they're actually pretty good. I'm pleased with them. Like I said, they're very comfortable. They're not too obtrusive. I showed you what they look like, and overall, they do fall in a good mid area of the hearing aid market for an over-the-counter aid. Here we have the devices in the case. You can see some LEDs glowing. The green one shows that there's power inside the case, and the 3 LEDs under each one of the devices shows that they are fully charged. This case has got a substantial battery. It allows several days worth of charging, and I only charged it once during my testing period. This is a screenshot of the general control area where you can set the volume, choose which area you want it to be in general, restaurant, outdoor, TV. Each one of those modes gives you different sound profiles for those particular areas. You can also see that I've got it set to 4 on both the left and the right, and they're both 100% charged. You can see the speech focus is for 360. You can also set it to direct in front of you, so it focuses sound from the speech to be more in front of you. Now I've adjusted the sound, as I was talking about earlier, to lower the left, and I also raised the right. Here you can see I moved it into restaurant mode. I'm still getting noise from the fan that I was talking about. And so what I did was I opened the noise reduction setting, and it's currently pretty low. So now I changed that to much higher by using the slider, and the sound of the fan just disappeared as I described it. This screen allows you to set what your sound level is. So for example, it's set to medium by default for your hearing loss. You can have mild, medium, moderate 1, and moderate 2. Each one of those increases the volume that is presented by the devices. Here you can see the settings as far as tone is concerned. So there's low or bass sounds. They're not really bass, they're just a lower frequencies, such as my voice. Then there's world sounds, and what that does is it actually just kind of enhances, kind of sort of like mid-range, but not exactly. And then there's the high ranges that I found I needed to lower this a little bit because I just found the devices to be a little bit what I refer to as hot. There's an interesting thing also. You can find out what the volume of sound is. I happen to be sitting in a really quiet area when I took this screenshot, and that just lets you know how loud things are, just simply as you're sitting there.